TV. We're live on DSTV channel 277. We're also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News and on Twitter at Metro TV GH. My name is Moro Awudu. Now, coming up in the next 30 minutes, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin assures that the House of Legislature will not frustrate the executive in the delivery of its mandate, but will rather work together with the other arms of government for the interest of Ghanaians. The TUC Secretary General says the agreed 4% increase in base pay for public sector workers is justified. He claims it is as a result of the economic challenges associated with COVID-19. We will bring you more on Newsline tonight. Well, Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. Newsline will be right back.
Need a little help? Nobody does it better. At UCS Facility Management, we give you the best in janitorial services, which include high-rise window cleaning, office cleaning, post-construction cleaning, facade washing, deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, swimming pool cleaning, and event janitorial services. Locate us at Jowolu, JA Plant Pool premises, or call us on 0501 666 322 or 0203 299 212 or 0203 299 234. UCS, your property is under our care.
Did you know that cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it? Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use floral disposable handkerchiefs. Floral disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, floral disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief. The Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For both purchases, call Delta Paper Mail on 0243 033 033.
And welcome back to the news program. So our first story, the Attorney General, who doubles as the Minister of Justice, GODFRED Atomey, has touted the soon-to-be-launched Integrated Information Management System as a one-stop shop expected to curb data sharing and management-related issues that confront justice delivery. According to him, the management system is in 2 dimensions and will help promote a proper assessment of data to replace the manual way of handling documents. There's more in this report filed by Metro News Elvis Ando.
Data is very important in the justice delivery system, and a lot relies on how safe client information is handled. The Integrated Information Management System, with its modus operandi in 2 ways, case management and document management, is expected to solve all issues about data management, sharing and storage. Addressing the participants at the training workshop, the Solicitor General, Helen Akpene Awo-Ziwu, spoke on the importance of the management system.
We are here for a go-live session involving all the super users, all the change agents, the registry staff that have been set up on the system. This will involve a hands-on practice of the system. And we are looking at the day a case is filed or submitted to the office all the way to the end of the case, or a petition is submitted all the way through 8 processes until an advice is issued.
The Attorney General, GODFRED Atomey, touted how the system, when put in full use, will help data management by replacing the manual process.
This exercise will help us in identifying the relevant challenges to the system that has been developed, and will also help us properly assess the efficiency of the systems. I will urge all of you to participate fully and ensure that we'll be able to properly assimilate what the system represents so that we'll be able to further impact the technology to others.
Tony Ntiado is a developer of the Integrated Information Management System.
For us, it's exciting to us that the Attorney General is taking this project much more seriously than we have seen most other government agencies want to jump on board. And it is our desire as a company to be able to help the government achieve their digitalization drive.
Some participants shared their excitement with the new system and how it will be beneficial to their work.
With the IIMS system, it would be typed, so you can easily see what the instructions are. And of course, time would also be saved.
You need to process it. So once it has been introduced, you can see many ask the questions. But I believe when they are introduced to it and they start working with it, those questions that they have will be solved in the system.
The 2-day training program, which is a collaboration between the Government of Ghana under the auspices of the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, as well as the World Bank, is to equip participants on how to manage the software for easy rollout across the country.
The Member of Parliament for the Menchia South and the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has appealed to his constituents who adhere to all the COVID-19 protocols. He's asking them to prioritize their activities and only go out when the situation demands. He made the statement while addressing delegates at this year's Menchia South MPP Delegates Conference in Kumasi.
COVID no kunipa Mecca ayeko subdame this year nipa 3,000 pe e de call Mecca 2 years ni ye call Mecca eti Mecca po ayeko subdame 2 years ni ye mie e ma ye nkoya so wo ko makaranta wo ko bompa ye fiada na yawada na ukada na dwada pasa dwe hu miedu because pai no be up on them the whole world Saudi Arabia for to Beckham. And I'm your age. It is yet a fear that Bako Bosso, ever sorry, say for Bompire. Open one day, Yamio. If it's a Nippon Kwamu here, I did a Yamia than Bibia. Sana Mamoko, Apple Semuno, Mukamu didn't even. Debia Meka, or Concrable Foster, the man, to be our sorry, no cough for one. Now call actually the COVID inside it's a boss for the crowd a future loss of co workers. I did a common sorry pay for P. That's sorry pay no better collection about the age of your other day.
Professor Nana Abba Appiah-Ampho has been appointed to act as Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana. The appointment of the 49-year-old takes effect from August 1, 2021, until her appointment by the institution's newly constituted Governing Council, chaired by former Chief Justice Sophia Ekufu. Professor Ampho was the Pro-Vice-Chancellor in charge of academic and student affairs at the University of Ghana.
Should Professor Ampho be confirmed, she would be the youngest so far, as well as the first female vice-chancellor in the history of the premier university. A statement from the school's registrar stated that she will be in an acting position following the expiration on July 31, 2021 of the tenure of the current vice-chancellor, Professor Ebenezer Oduro-Wusu. Professor Appiah-Ampho will be in that role until such a time the University Council appoints a substantive vice-chancellor. The statement added that the Council considered Section 10, Clause 2B of the University of Ghana 2010 and Section 6, Clause 3 of the University of Ghana, and decided on the appointment of the senior of the two pro-vice chancellors to act. Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo is an alumna of the University of Ghana. She had her secondary education at Holy Child School and Archbishop Potter Girls Secondary School, and proceeded to the University of Ghana from 1991 to 1996 for a bachelor's degree in French and linguistics, both her MPhil 2001 and PhD 2007. Degrees in linguistics are from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology in Norway. Professor Amfo has received additional training in higher education management and leadership from Harvard Business School, University of Applied Sciences, Germany, and INSEAD, France. Professor Amfo's career in academia started in 2001 as a lecturer in the Department of Linguistics, was promoted senior lecturer in 2007, associate professor in 2011, and professor in 2017. Her research interests are in the linguistic subdiscipline of pragmatics, which allows her to explore the role that context plays in our conversational interactions and how that influences communication in different domains.
Now, organized labor has justified why it agreed on 4% increase in base pay for public sector workers. The Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. YEBOAH, said the economic challenges affected by the COVID-19 pandemic was a contributing factor, hence the need to accept the increase on conditions.
Agreement period 2021-2022, government shall not declare any public sector worker redundant. All the over 700,000 public sector workers will keep their jobs no matter the state of the economy and government finances over the agreement period. That government shall not freeze employment in the public service. This means government will continue to employ workers into the public service. That all workers will be vaccinated against COVID-19 during the agreement period. And that government will pay social security contributions, here with special reference to the second-tier contributions, regularly. Ongoing discussions on various social media platforms indicate clearly that workers are understandably unhappy with the outcome of the negotiations. We here, as your leaders, are not happy either. But we settled on the relatively low rates of increments reluctantly after intense negotiations spanning many meetings and many weeks.
We are all aware of the effects of COVID-19 on our economy. We are all aware of it. We have a situation where even in the private sector, workers have been laid off. Some have now been given 50% salaries. We are all aware of these complications. And to be honest with you, this is not the first time that Labour has agreed to something like this. In 2015, after we were coming out of an economic woes, we agreed to a 3% salary increase. So this is not the first time. It's a negotiation, and we must also look at the economic situation. Having workers still to be in employment, where in our sister countries, public servants have been laid off. But here you have your work, and you are being paid. In situations, we stayed in the house, we were not working, but we were paid. We have to be realistic. And we think, to the best of our knowledge, we've done the best.
Meanwhile, the Minority Leader of Parliament, Haruna Drisu, is calling on the Finance Minister to consider the plight of the public sector workers by adjusting the minimum wage by an additional 2%. He said this ahead of the Finance Minister's media review at the NDC Policy Dialogue on the economy.
4% wage increase when inflation is at 8%. Consistent, the policy is to increase wages, and therefore we expect in the mid-year review at least some 2% adjustment further for Ghanaian workers.
Let's get a reaction from the coalition against TUC and labor unions on the argument made by the TUC. Anthony MORKEH is the Public Relations Officer of the group and has joined us on phone for a conversation. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Newsline. Good evening, Anthony MORKEH. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? You're welcome to Newsline on Metro TV. Can you please unmute your microphone so that I can hear you too, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsline on Metro TV. It is quite clear that the TUC does not seem to see reason in the position that you have espoused and you have held very strongly that Ghanaian workers need an increase in their wages. Does that discourage you?
Okay, I'll take this opportunity to greet our viewers. This does not convince us and this does not discourage us. You see, we are in an economy where all of us accept that we have been affected by COVID-19 and majority of companies have been affected. Now, are we not in the same economy whereby parliamentarians are going to be given 275 languages? Are you not in the same economy? Are you not in the same economy where the president's wife has been paid huge amount of money with back pay from 2017 to date? Are you not in the same economy? Are you not in the same economy where Article 71 holders' salary has been increased? Are you not in the same economy? So what the TUC is telling the public is, it's like they are speaking for the president instead of the leaders of TUC to justify the reason why certain percentage should be added to workers' salary. You see, you have been sent people to go and defend us and make sure you have better condition of service while working. But these same people are rather defending government against us. Now, if you leave these people, they will come out with figures, evidence, and so many things to justify the reason why we, the workers of this country, should accept this percentage. But is that the reality on the ground?
But Mr. MORKEH,
people are suffering.
Hello, Mr. MORKEH, can you hear me? Right.
Yes, I can hear you.
But isn't it also a fact that this same economy has been hit by COVID very badly?
Yes, it is true that this economy has been hit by COVID very badly, but when reality shows that people are enjoying, people's salary, government is going up, people are living in a luxurious life. Why should workers tighten their belts while we are all aware that people are in the country enjoying? So
all right,
this does not convince us to accept that 4%, because 4% that government has given to us, some of us are going to receive only 10 cedis addition to our salary.
All right.
When you hear the minority leader Haruna, he's even calling for a certain amount to be added to the workers' salary. He's aware that we have been affected by COVID. So I think people who are not for us are even crying for us, but our leaders who are supposed to fight for us are justifying with points and figures that you're supposed to accept something.
All right, I think that your point has been clearly and sufficiently made. I want to thank you so very much, Mr. Anthony MORKEH, for talking to us on Newsline. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, there's more. Stay tuned in.
Maria, I'm going to go fly with no more Jabona Jamai. Have a beer, you can be
Number 7 shared by one of you born with your body temple to the one of
HD logo the bottom. Where you say HD local channels na mo and so pictures here clear. A 5 times better. As other channels that could be your so we're mention one time rack away. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What a picture. What you AD plus decoder or multi TV and now Electroland agent PR. Natural local channels now HD the here so better.
Star 879 hash.
Numbers from people box and now the activity 80 channels now. You can
get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just $89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Philippines promo. Promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
All right, welcome back. The Monetary Policy Committee, that's the MPC, of the Bank of Ghana, has kept its key lending rate to commercial bank at 13.5%. Now, this is due to the third wave of COVID-19 high budget deficit due to revenue underperformance, as well as the balance of risk to inflation and growth, among others.
Had cut the policy rate for the first time in over a year to 13.5% in May 2021. According to the Bank of Ghana, developments in interest rates broadly showed a downward trend across the yield curve. The 91-day and 182-day Treasury bill rates declined to 12.7% and 13.4% respectively in June 2021, from about 14.0% for both instruments in June 2020. Similarly, the rates on the 364-day instrument decreased marginally to 16.3% from 16.9% over the same comparative period. Rates on all the medium to long-term instruments generally declined over the review period. The weighted average interbank rate declined to 12.9% in June 2021 from 13.8% a year earlier, consistent with a reduction in the monetary policy rate in May 2021 and supported by improved liquidity conditions on the interbank market. In a similar trend, the average bank lending rate declined marginally to 20.6% in June 2021 from about 22.0% in the corresponding period of 2020.
Well, let's get on the phone lines and speak to banking consultant Nana Otoe-Champong to help us understand the impact of this monetary policy, which has been kept at 13.5% on the economy. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsline on Metro TV. Hello, Nana Otoe-Champong. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Thank you. So, as you do know, the Bank of Ghana has again maintained the policy rate at 13.5%. How do we explain this to the ordinary Ghanaians? And what is the impact of this on the business community and the economy at large?
Now, the policy rate is the benchmark rate that indirectly affects the lending rate that you and I charge if we borrow from the bank, and equally the interest that is paid on our money if we save with the bank. Now, for a long time, it had been maintained at 14.5 until 2 months ago that it was reduced by 1 basis point to 13.5. Now, this time around, the reduction has been maintained without any further increase, and that is because the assessment made by Bank of Ghana shows that although the economy is beginning to pick up, because if you take deposits that the people have put in the bank, it's gone up by some 22%. But on the other hand, if you take the loans that people are taking from the bank, that one has gone down from year-on-year 16% last year this time to 5.7%, which means that although the monies are there to be borrowed, but people, because of the COVID uncertainty, are not borrowing. And so the rate at which the growth in lending has gone down. So therefore, there was no need, according to them, to reduce the rate further. Besides that, the reduction that the MPC has put on the interest rate, the monetary policy rate for some time, is now beginning to sink in that now lending rate has come as low as around 20.5% from a high of 40% when the current government took over. So this is a way of, keeping a tab on the system to ensure that when the economy picks up and we are able to overcome the COVID, which is bringing uncertainty, the businesses will be able to borrow at a reasonable rate, and then in turn earn income, which taxes will be paid to give revenue to the government to undertake social interventions that they are undertaking.
Right. Now, briefly on this, can I, based on the theory that you have espoused, assume safely that this would mean that there won't be any impact on lending rates, whether moving upwards or downwards? It would remain same?
For now, yes. It should remain the same. But if anything at all, it should go down, because at the moment, the transmission rate hasn't completed yet. It's still being transmitted. So we expect that it will continue going down for the lending rates.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Nano Champon, for talking to us. It's always a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Nano Champon is a banking consultant. I want to thank you very much for watching tonight's edition of Newsline. My name is Moro Adu. Newsline will be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. And it is brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. The news never sleeps. Have a good night. Bye-bye.